Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, my name is Shurina. I'm a certified nutritionist, nutrition, health, performance, and productivity coach. And guys, you might have heard about quite a few productivity coaches, but I come to it from a completely different perspective. I'm utterly convinced by my professional and personal experience and by all the science that I've been studying for 15 plus years now that hardware comes first. What it means is that how our body is built from what it's built, basically the foods, the building blocks on our plate, that defines how well our software works. And our software is the way we think, the way we're able to do our best work, to perform, to have energy, to stay motivated, to have enough grit to stick with the things that are hard. All of that, it works much, much better when we invest into our hardware first. And that means into building blocks of our body and our brain. Guys, today is Monday. Today is 1st of November. It's time to recommit to goals that are important to you, to things that you want to work on, that you want to improve, like your health, like your fitness, like your productivity, your mission in this life, your work, your relationship, anything that is important to you, put it on your calendar. Put it on your goal list. And, yesterday while working at the end of the day, at the end of the month, I said to myself, whatever we put on our to-do list, on our goals to achieve list, we gotta understand that it will require time. It will require energy. It's probably going to be challenging if you don't have it yet, because if it was easy, you'd probably already have it, right? So if you decide to put something on your goal list, then please make sure that you are ready to invest time and energy into that, and effort, and going through things that are hard. Because if you're not ready, it's not going to happen. Just because you put something on your goal list, not going to make it magically appear in your life. You got to put in the time and the work. And other than that, be audacious, dream big, and put on that goal list things that really excite you. They kind of seem almost impossible, but some part of you feels that you can do that. And nutrition is one of the tools that you absolutely have to use in order to make any goal, any dream of yours reality. Because again, it's all about hardware, how your body, how your brain work and perform. That's what delivers the results. So nutrition, guys, yesterday I finished the blog. It was hard writing for me. It felt out of my comfort zone. It took me actually a couple of days to bring myself into giving birth to this blog. And it's about ADHD, brain fog, focus, and food, and how they are connected, and how there are substances that we can take to help us to be more focused, more alert, more productive. But then also there are some substances that do the exact opposite, giving us all a little bit of ADHD-like symptoms. The blog is all about that, substances and foods that help you to stay more alert, more focused, more productive. And then substances and foods that do the exact opposite. And it's actually the second blog in the series on brain nutrition and nutrition for productivity, nutrition and lifestyle, right? In the blog that I wrote yesterday, that I published today, this morning, I think it was out 6 a.m. So in that blog, I talk about things like caffeine and coffee, and how it can actually help you to stay more focused, more alert, and do the important work, and get the important work done. And also how using the caffeine in the wrong way, at the wrong times, in the wrong amounts, with the wrong kind of, combination of, sugar or croissants, how that can actually make you more of ADHD with brain fog, not able to focus to get the work done, kind of being up and awake, but not able to focus on anything really for periods of time that are needed to do good quality work. So caffeine. Did you know, for example, that there were quite a lot of studies that certain amount of caffeine, drinks, about 100 to 400 milligrams, is kind of okay for most people. they help to increase productivity and focus. But more than that, and more than 400 milligrams for most people means more anxiety and not being able to focus, being worried, being all over the place, going high and crashing after. Right? And did you know that Starbucks, the big, venti, I think it's called everywhere, that has more caffeine than those 400 milligrams? So if you drink your coffee and then you feel anxious for quite a while and then you crash, that might be that this cup of coffee doesn't work for you. Maybe you need to go less, not necessarily caffeine free right away, but maybe take a small one, or ask for one shot of espresso in your coffee cup, in your Americano, instead of 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 that they put into that. What else? In this blog, we talked about sugar and how having fast sugars, things that you can get in some bubble tea or frappuccino, or things like croissants, or pancakes with some maple syrup, or some candy, or some breakfast cereal, traditional with a lot of sugar. How all of those things can, again, compromise your brain's ability to focus and to work for prolonged period of time, work that requires focus and alertness and going through challenges, right? How you can use other kind of carbohydrates and naturally occurring sugars in whole foods that will give you energy, but also vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are super important for your brain performance. Antioxidants, in that blog, I wrote about antioxidants as being those bulletproof substances or protectors of your brain, of cells, of your neurons. Our brain is very active. Like, there is all this electricity going on constantly, and brain is susceptible more than any other tissue to oxidative damage and inflammation. And that's because of all of this activity. And we need antioxidants, a lot of them from whole foods, from colorful veggies and things like berries and things like dark chocolate, to protect our brain, to help our brain cells to do their best work, to perform the best, to keep us productive. But then at the same time also saving or keeping our brain safe for many months and years ahead, instead of giving us things like dementia or memory loss or Alzheimer's. So in the blog, I talked about, antioxidants and the best sources and why you want to have them, if not at every meal, then for sure every single day. The best foods like dark chocolate, one of the richest antioxidant sources. And by the way, coffee, green tea are one of the richest, if not the richest, antioxidant sources, antioxidants that protect your brain, that make it perform better today, many weeks and years from now. And we want to include as many of those as possible. At the same time, of course, managing our caffeine and our sugars and our calories. Recently there were a couple of studies published about dark chocolate and how, it does improve blood circulation to our brain, and with oxygen and nutrients, and there is iron, there are nutrients that are also very helpful for our brain performance. And then also dark chocolate, 85% and more, seems to have mood boosting long-term effects, improving and changing our gut microbiome. But then also, these recent studies, they showed that actually in most people, dark chocolate increases metabolism by like 10%. The study went like that. There were active and athletic people, and they measured their metabolic rate, how many calories per day they burn, and then they gave them 100 calorie worth of dark chocolate. And then I think it was 3 weeks or more, and they measured their metabolism during that, and right after the study was finished. And so they burned on average 140 calories more, so their metabolic rate increased. But of course, there was also 100 gram worth of chocolate, and so they burned only 40 calories more, but still they burned more. And because dark chocolate is so amazing for you, and by dark chocolate, a lot of studies and science shows that we need to consume dark chocolates at least 85% of cacao solids in the chocolate bar. I go for 100%. You don't have to unless you want it. After a while, I learned to really enjoy it. Anyhow, dark chocolate can be also very helpful for brain health and performance. A lot of science is out there confirming that. So add some dark chocolate. It's an amazing source of antioxidant to protect our brain, right? So in the blog, again, I talked about caffeine and how you want to have the right amount, not too much, not too little. Especially if you are someone struggling with focus, with attention, and you have ADHD-like symptoms, you might add caffeine, but again, it's very, very important to add the right amount. And then you're going to avoid fast sugars and add some dark chocolate that also seems to be great for your lean body mass and performance, but we're going to add it specifically to protect our brain. And for more information about, the right kind of proteins and fats and carbohydrate foods, all of that you can find in my brain nutrition, productivity nutrition blog, the link to which is in the show notes. So check it out, guys. And please do understand and accept this fact and use it for your benefit. The fact that nutrition does change how you feel, how you think, what decisions you make, how productive you are, how much energy you have, what kind of mood you have. And don't you agree, guys, that this changes the course of your life? How energetic you feel every day, how you are motivated to do the hard work, to get hard things done, how uplifted and optimistic your mood is, or whether, you're depressed or not. All of these things matter. And nutrition affects all of them. Because nutrition, food, that's what we are built of, literally, from the ground up. Every single cell is built from foods, from substances that we put in our mouth. And you either use it for your benefit or for all the negative effects like depression or body fat, increased body fat, and lack of confidence because of that, and because maybe lack of energy, and because of bad gut microbiome. Nutrition changes also the inflammatory processes in our body, and how inflamed and damaged your brain is, how good your memory is, how creative you are. All of that, it depends on nutrition, on certain kind of nutrition. There is a lot of science recently came out about how to maintain great productivity, brain that works in the most optimal way. A lot of science in it, and I try to summarize it to put it into very practical pieces of advice in this couple of blogs, the links to which are in the show notes. So check them out. Let me know how useful they were. Maybe something wasn't clear, so also let me know, and I'm gonna answer any of the questions that you might have after reading them, and then put whatever you read, whatever you learn into action. One single thing a week, and over the course of several months, a year, you can transform your nutrition for life and feel 100% and more better than you used to feeling when your nutrition is suboptimal, right? So for now, that's it, guys. Check out the blogs. Caffeine drinkers, please do consume caffeine in moderation first part of the day, preferably at least 10 hours before your bedtime, because even if you do fall asleep, I can assure you caffeine affects your sleep. The closer to bedtime, the worse effects you're gonna have. Again, even though you seem to fall asleep just fine. Sugars, they gotta be slow in whole foods, not fast. And antioxidants from whole foods, the more the better. One of my top favorite ways is to add an ounce of dark chocolate, 85% or more, for my afternoon lunch. That's my personal practice. You can do something else, but I highly recommend it. And in general, the more antioxidants in things like berries, in things like vegetables, the more, the better. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Thank you for listening. And I wish you super productive Monday, week, and months. And don't forget to put something exciting on your goal list and be prepared to put in time, energy, and work. And until next time, guys, thank you for listening and eat better daily.